Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review, honestly, one of my top 5 favorite films of the year now, The Shape of Water. This film was amazing. Guillermo del Toro is a genius, and when he's on point, because he can be not on point, trust me, but when he's on point, he is amazing, and he was amazing with this film. And this is about a woman who is mute, and her black friend at work. This takes place in the 1960s, and her best friend, who is a gay man, and these outcasts being connected with this fish creature thing, aka Ape Sapien from Hellboy, basically. But I'm not going to get into that. So, and dealing with the government and the Russians and everyone trying to figure out what the hell this is, and this woman feeling connected with and falling in love. And it works. Holy crap, honestly. And Guillermo del Toro does such a great job balancing all these characters, because I think one of the most admirable things about this film is you feel for everyone and you see where everyone's coming from. Even the most vile villains in this film, you see everyone's perspective to the point where you fully understand all of them. And you know why everything's happening, and Guillermo del Toro does such a great job of balancing all of these different perspectives. And this is such a lovely film. There's moments where it's just like I had a giant smile on my face out of the love of film, and you can tell this film was made with so much love for film. And the pacing of this film, this isn't a super fast-paced film, but you feel engrossed and engaged in all the different things in this film, and how the different use of like visual storytelling and different choices that Guillermo del Toro makes. There's one particular scene that was so beautiful, and I loved it so much that it was odd to see in a musical number. I'm gonna leave it at that. Pop up in this film, but it was so beautiful and so amazing and so heartfelt that it fits so well in this film. And that's the thing, you connect with everybody, you feel for all of them, and this film is so impactful in that way. I was in love with these characters so quickly, and that really says something for Guillermo del Toro bringing this all out of all these actors. But I'll gush over the performances soon enough. The cinematography by Dan Lawston. This is such beautifully shot. The colors are beautiful and gorgeous and just pop out so well, and you have to expect that in a Guillermo del Toro movie, because if they didn't, it wouldn't feel like a Guillermo del Toro movie. But the choice of shots and how uses of pans and tilts and everything in this, and some interesting impossible camera shots too, and how it's all put together and so well shot, and the use of lighting and everything so well in this film. And this goes to some harsh moments, really harsh and grotesque moments that you would expect out of a Guillermo del Toro film. Because like Pan's Labyrinth up to this point was his best film, and it'll be interesting to compare these two films. But Pan's Labyrinth hits hard. There's some very serious and grotesque moments in that film, and this film rivals that. And what Del Toro and Vanessa Taylor are able to do with telling the story is so interesting and engrossing, and all these threads coming together and these themes. All the characters are so well fleshed out, from Eliza, our main character, to her friend, played by Richard Jenkins, to her co-worker, Octavia Spencer, to the scientist, played by Michael Stuhlbarg, to Strickland, played by Michael Shannon, the government man. Everything. All of them are so well fleshed out, so interesting. The dialogue is so endearing and interesting and powerful, and you could tell all these actors were really eating it up. And the themes of isolation and prejudice, and how that's still important today, because people are still discriminated against in this film, and also not being able to connect with what we don't understand. And this actually has a lot of interesting religious undertones as well, and the connections and the biblical metaphors and everything in this is so interesting. And this creature being worshipped as a god, and that's so important to this film, and moments of realization, and such a powerful film. And the music, Alexandre Desplat, his music is so beautiful and so gorgeous and just brings a whole heft of endearing heartwarmingness. And also, there's moments where it's very tense and very striking, and being able to balance all those things and bringing all those things to this film was really important, and that's what I love so much about this plot score. Now to gush about performances. Sally Hawkins, if she doesn't get nominated for Best Actress, or probably her, Saoirse Ronan, and Frances McDormand are my top three actresses so far this year. I don't know who I'd pick at this point, but Sally Hawkins has to do a lot without saying anything, and it was really impressive. My favorite performance in this film, honestly, was Richard Jenkins, and if he doesn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, I'll be angry, honestly, because he is so beautifully portraying this character and so heartwarmingly connected, and we connect so well with him and just feel for him and his struggle. Michael Shannon is, I love Michael Shannon, and if you ever watched any of my reviews of the film with Michael Shannon, you know how much I love Michael Shannon, and he is powerful and intense, but vulnerable, like, not in like, there's moments of vulnerability for him, and he's afraid, and which is interesting, and I think he really plays all that so well. There's a particular scene where I was afraid for some of the other characters, and Michael Stuhlbarg does such a nice job in this film. He really makes a potentially not so interesting character with so much, gives so much depth to him. And then Octavia Spencer, great as always. She is such a powerhouse on screen, and just give her a next Best Supporting Actress nomination because she deserves it. And then shout outs to Doug Jones, who plays the creature, because Doug Jones doesn't get appreciated enough for what he does, and he does such a fantastic job in this film, and I loved him very much. His performances as the Fawn in Pan's Labyrinth and Abe Sapien physically in the first one, and full blown end voice in the second one of Hellboy. Doug Jones does a great job. This film is gorgeous, heartfelt, and intense. Genre-bending sci-fi love story that really hit home to me, was very resonant. And this movie is weird. Let's not get that wrong, because this is a love story. Think about that. Ruminate on that, and it's weird. But if you're okay with weird, this film is so worth it. Go see this film. I love The Shape of Water, and I'm going to give it an A+.